Good afternoon. It is August 10th, and we're doing another video. My name is Chris Rice. I have a 10-year-old son named Peyton who has autism. And before I start the video, I want to say good afternoon to you wonderful, wonderful mothers, caretakers, fathers, aunts, uncles, grandparents, friends, neighbors, anybody who is involved with an autistic child and doing it the right way. I commend you. I salute you, especially you mothers and stepfathers, stepmothers, all that good stuff. This video is about meltdowns. Meltdowns are like a signature to a child with autism. All the children that have autism that I know and that I've heard of, they all have meltdowns. They do them differently. Some are violent, some are screaming, some are kicking, some are not so much violent, but maybe just they have little things that they do. And some kids, unfortunately, like to break stuff. And for the parents, that is very, very hard to deal with. Especially on top of the fact that, you work hard for your stuff and you don't want nobody to break it, especially your own children, because that pulls at the strings of your heart. It does something to you. Not because of the material things. Material things can be replaced, but simply because you may feel like there's nothing you can do. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a counselor. But I know a thing or two from research and talking to mothers and talking to fathers and having conversations with people about meltdowns. Do I know how to stop meltdowns? No. But I do have a little knowledge about how to contain them. This is my opinion, my perspective. This may not work for you. You may have ideas that may work for me. So, I love all the comments that I get, that we share between each other. So let's discuss meltdowns. Now, I know some parents have dealt with windows being broken out, glass tables being broken, wooden tables being broken. I, have had, a TV broken. And, I do not support Apple products, but here, I like the iPad. I love Samsung phones, but I like the iPad because the iPad is strong. My son has thrown that iPad I don't know how many times and it won't break. And thank God it won't break, because Lord knows I can't afford another one. But it is strong, and he got a pretty good arm, so he throws it. But the key to it is try to get in front of it. Not in front of the iPad. I'm talking about in front of the meltdown. Try to get in front of it. Now, the way that I choose to get in front of it is we have to pay very, very, very close attention to our children and their moods. Like, a child with autism cannot hide emotions. They're smart. They're extremely smart, but they cannot hide emotions. So if something is bothering them, their little tics that they do, their little urges that they get are gonna let us know. I'm not saying in no way, form, or fashion give your child everything that they want, because here's the thing: we're still the parents. We're still the parents. We still run the show, and honestly, our children cannot outlast us. But it seems like they can, because they have so much rage inside of them. They will scream to the top of their lungs until their veins start coming out of their neck. I know it. I've seen this before, and it's scary. It is, because what if he loses it one day and he can't bring it back? But that's where his mother comes in. That's where I come in. That's where you come in. It's up to us to soothe our children through the meltdown. If they have something in their hand, if they're known for throwing stuff, take everything out of their hand. Get it out of their hand 30 seconds before it gets to that point. Don't sit on our hands and wait for it to happen and then wonder why. What can we do? No, our job is to get in front of it. Get in front of it and stop it. Not stop it. Calm it before it happens. And like I said, that comes with paying attention to our children. Now, sometimes our children do get the best of us. They have the best of us, so sometimes they get the best of us. And we get angry, we get frustrated, we get irritated, but the thing is, we never display that in front of them. We never, ever, ever display that in front of them. And you know, some people may not agree with this, but if your child is having a meltdown and he or she is in their room and there's nothing in there that can hurt them, sometimes just walk away for a second. Because, you know, even though we're parents, we also have to understand that we have a temper as well. We don't want to do anything to jeopardize the health of our children. And we don't want to do anything to jeopardize the health of ourselves. We have to protect our mental health as well as our children's mental health. So, if there's nothing in there that can hurt them, just walk away for a minute or two. Just let them scream for a second and just let them get it out, and then go back in there and, try to soothe them the best way that we know how. There are things that soothe children with autism. We just have to find out what it is. And every meltdown is not going to be prevented. Some meltdowns are going to be rough, especially the ones that are done in public. I've had to deal with that a few times. I don't really have to deal with that as much as some people. But I'll tell you one thing that you do not do. Do not record your child having a meltdown in public. Don't do that. That is humiliating. We don't do that. Okay? That is not cool to do. If you're in Walmart or you're in the mall or you're in Best Buy or wherever you may be and your child has a meltdown, pick them up. Try to get them out of that store as soon as possible. Because you don't want the attention. They don't want the attention either. So, try to get in front of it as much as possible. And like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a counselor. I'm just a father. That's it. I'm just a father who likes talking to you guys. And I like for y'all to talk to me. And I'm doing the best that I can do, just like you're doing the best that you can do. When you sitting at home and you sitting watching TV or you see the you see it coming, you see the aggravation coming from your child, turn the TV off. Just turn it off. Talk to him. Try to relate to him as much as possible. And do research after research after research. Learn about this stuff. Learn and learn and learn. Because there are triggers that cause a meltdown, whether it be emotionally, whether it be just a child hey, sometimes our children just want to be buttholes. And it's okay that we can say that, because here's the thing. Even though my child is 10 years old and he has autism, he's still a 10-year-old boy. He's not going to do everything I tell him to do when I tell him to do it. That's not going to happen. He's still a child. So, we have to treat him like a child. He does not run me. Your child does not run you. You are the authoritarian. And you have to assert that. If you choose to restrain your child, if they want to bite or kick or spit during meltdowns and stuff like that, it's up to you to stop that. We don't let our child do that. Our children do not get away with that, because that's not cool. Because if they go out in public and they spit on the wrong person, then it's not going to be perceived like you would perceive it. It's not going to be a good situation. So everything that we do with our children starts at home. It doesn't start at school. It starts at home. I would rather for my child to act like a butthole at home than to do it at school, than to do it in out in public. The only thing that we can do is stay prepared. And it's tiring. I know it is. It wears you out, because some of you have full-time jobs. Some of you, most of you are single parents. And that's the part right there that hurts my soul, because When, especially, when a boy is having a meltdown, a father can make all the difference. The bass in a man's voice can straighten up a child. Believe it or not, it really can. Even with a child with autism. Now, it may not stop the meltdown, but it may prevent him from throwing an iPad or trying to, bust the screen on the TV. He still may cry, but it helps. It really does. So for the fathers out there, let's get educated. I'm talking to the fathers that are involved. We can never be educated enough. We have to learn and learn and learn and learn to deal with this stuff, because the way that it's going right now, this stuff is not going to stop. So we have to learn to contain it. And for you mothers out there to deal with these meltdowns every single day or every other day, they got the bruises to show it, the scratches and stuff like that. Like I have scratches on my hand right there and in different places. It's hard and it hurts. It does. It hurts. It makes you want to cry and break down. It does. I know. But the thing is, it's okay to cry and break down, but we cannot do that in front of our children. They're looking at us to be strong no matter what, even through their meltdowns. So, in closing, I can do a part 2 to this right here, and I will. But for this one right here, in closing, I want to say that pray through these meltdowns. Love harder through these meltdowns. And these children will get through it, and we will get through it with them. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for allowing me to speak my mind. And I hope that I do not ever disappoint Christ with these messages.